There we go. Lovely. Okay, girls. So we're going to start off where if you have something like a yoga block at home, I want you to grab it because I'm going to stretch out your ankles with this, but we won't need it for a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to start off in a 90-90 position. So that means that we get a 90-degree angle in our front leg and a 90-degree angle with our back leg. Just move that out of the way. Okay, so we're looking to see 90 degrees square off. Yeah, so just check as well, like Hannah, see that back leg, the foot needs to be in line with the knee, and the same with the front leg. Yeah, cool. So what we're gonna do, girls, is we're gonna do some hip openings. So we're gonna lift the knee up, open as wide as we can, and drop it down. Okay, we're gonna go for 10 reps. If you want, you can just keep yourself propped upright with your hands, and just to allow you to really focus on opening the hip and not twisting the spine or like twisting the torso. Take a nice big breath in, exhale and open. Whew. Lovely. 3 more on my count. Out. 2. And they might feel a little tender. That's it. Lovely. So now, girls, we're going to bring this back leg and we're going to bring it up and across the front leg, but still keeping that in a 90 position. And we're in this lovely, weird modified lotus position where I've got my shin across my thigh, and I'm going to feel a lovely stretch here now on the outside of my hip. And I'm going to start to just rock forward into that stretch. I'm trying to bring my knee down to my foot. Okay. And we're hinging forward. We're pressing the knee down. And we're going to try and do 10 of these. Lovely. So it should feel like an intense stretch on the outside of the hip. Try not to hold your breath as you're moving through it. It's 4, 5, and you'll start to kind of see, oh yeah, I'm getting a little bit lower with that knee. Hannah, how are you getting on? All right. 6.
I'm just not really feeling it on my outer hip.
Okay, yeah. Just get back into position for me and I'll have a look.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Good. And then as you press your knee down, you don't feel that on the outside?
No, I feel it on the inside.
On the inside, okay. Yeah. That can be yeah, you look all good. Jackie, can you feel that stretch inside or outside? At the outside, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe it's just leg. I'll see what it's like on the other leg.
Could be just that leg. Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jackie feels it on the inside as well. Yeah, but mostly on the outside. Lovely. I think that's what Jackie said with her miming through the camera to me. So lovely, girls. So we're in that position. Yeah, lovely. And then I'm going to get you to bring that leg back out. And we're going to come back into that 90-90. Yeah. And so all I'm going to get you to do now is you're going to do 5 reps where you're going to hinge over your knee. 5 reps where you're going to hinge over your middle of your shin. And 5 reps where you're going all the way over your foot. Now I want you to try and keep your hips down, your knees down, and we're trying to just hinge through your your hips here, okay? So make sure that you're not rounding and slumping over it. You're thinking about, can I reach my chest over my knee? And we're gonna go for 5 reps over the knee. I'm trying to get as much as of my belly onto my leg as possible with a straight spine. And once you've done 5, you can move to the middle of your shin. Anywhere between the knee and the ankle is good. And just take your time as you go into each rep. So maybe don't go fully into it straight away. Exhale and hinge. Really trying to lengthen the body across the leg. And then finally, my hardest one is to get my chest as close to my foot as possible. Try and keep your bum on the ground as much as possible as you lengthen through your spine. Oh my goodness. Great work, girls. Once you've done that, we'll flip to the left or to the opposite side, okay? So we'll go 90-90 on the opposite leg. Make sure you're all lined up. And then we'll go into those hip knee opening again. So we're gonna open the knee for 10 reps. Try to sit as upright as you can. Maybe if I turn this way, that will help. Yes, it will. So lovely, girls. So what I'm trying to do is get my knee to come up as high up as I can. And I'm trying to press the foot down into the floor. Ooh. Oh, while trying to keep the knee down on the opposite leg. So you're trying to pull both knees apart. Ten reps. Ooh. It's hard to keep both that opposite knee down. Wants to lift. Excellent. All right, girls, we're going to bring that back leg all the way up and across the front leg. And come into that lotus position again. And we'll see how this leg is, Hannah. This side for me, I'm like already, I don't know, this is going to be hard, much harder for me. Ten reps where you're pressing the knee down. Oh, Lord above. And if you don't feel it on the outside of the hip, Hannah, that's no problem. It just means that you're okay. You're good. Once you've done 10, girls, oh my God. We'll bring that leg back. Lovely. And then we will do, oh, wow. That leg doesn't want to go back there now. Lovely. And then we're going to go for 5 reps where we're going to hinge over the knee, hinge over the shin, and hinge over the foot. All right. Each one, you're going to try and get your belly button as far over your leg as possible. Looking for that lovely stretch in the glutes and the outside of the hips. Great work. Once you've done 5, you can move to the middle of the leg. For me, it's not that this one's more painful, but it just feels weirder. It's like, just doesn't really want to go there. And then you're going to move on to your foot. This is hard for me to get my chest anywhere near my foot on this side. Excellent, girls. All right, so all I'm going to get you to do now is we're going to swivel around and come onto our knees, and we're going to go into a pigeon stretch. Okay, so I'm going to try and get 90-degree bend in the front leg. So let's say we start on the left leg. We're going to bring that knee up as close to our left hand as possible. That's why a yoga mat is handy if you have your yoga mat, where you're going to try and get your knee and your foot to be on opposite sides. So your foot on one side, and then you're going to try and lengthen through that back leg into where that your thigh is getting as close to the ground as possible. Yeah, lovely. You girls are grand, but if you did need to at home, you can pop a yoga block underneath the hip to just give you that a bit of assistance if it's really tough, okay? You're going to hinge forward for me for 10 reps. So just like we did, we're going to keep the chest in front of the middle of the thigh, or middle of the shin, sorry, and we're going to hinge. Our belly button is far forward over our shin. Taking a big breath in, exhale and hinge. Breathing really helps because it means that we can get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Flat back. Oh, Lord. And we're really looking to try and get our belly button onto our shin. Very nice, girls. 10 reps in total. Taking your time to get lengthen and lengthen and lengthen and lengthen. That's going to really stretch out those hips and glutes. Once you've done your pigeon on that side, we're going to move to the right side. And we're going to place both hands at the top of our mat. Bring that right knee up to that right hand. Bring the right foot to the opposite side of the mat. And again, so if we're at home, we need to pop a hip under, or the block underneath the hip. It'll help just support us there so that we can get deeper into our stretch. And I'm looking for 10 reps. Thinking through, hinging through the hip. Breathing in and exhaling out, where we hinge. Looking to reach that whole chest all the way over the leg. It's going to be intense as we get a little bit deeper into it. Keep going with it. 10 in total. And 10, lovely girls. Oh my goodness. Okay, just come out of that, shake it about, get a little bit looser, and then we're gonna finish off with some foot stretching and then a quad stretch to finish, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with a big toe stretch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and spread my my toes as wide as I can, okay? So if I've got my toes, I'm looking to press the bottom of all my toes down into the mat or into the floor, okay? I'm also trying to bring my heels together and I'm trying to sit as upright as possible on my big toe, okay? But I'm just double checking. It's like my baby toe is a little bit uncooperative and trying to make sure that he's spread as well. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold this for 10 breaths, okay? You can come out of it any time that you need to. Like for me right now, my left big toe is screaming at me. So I'm gonna try and breathe through the stretch. Try to make sure that the heels stay as close as possible together. If they come apart, that's no problem. Just try and fix them. If you keep your weight forward over your knees, that's going to be slightly easier as you kind of get through your reps. Try to lean back into it if you can do it. That's cool. My left foot is not happy, so I'm not going to push too much into it. Come in and out of it as much as you need to. Whew. I'm going to try and go back in for 4 more breaths if I can. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Lovely girls, lean forward. Lean all your weight into your hands and then gently bring your toes back out of that. You'll just flip them over, put the back of the top of your foot onto the ground and just kind of sit back into it. So intense. I don't know what's going on with that left big toe, but he's not happy with it. Okay, if you've got a yoga block, girls, or something a little bit that should be quite firm. So I wouldn't say a towel or anything, but if you got, yeah, give it a go, Hannah. If it's not too spiky or not too, but we can try. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pop the toes onto the edge of the block, okay? So my toes are gonna be on the block, but the front of, the top of my foot is gonna be off the block, okay? The more, the top of your toes, the more foot you have off the block, the harder it's going to be. The more foot you have on the block, the less hard it's going to be. So you can kind of play around with this, but this is going to stretch out the front of the shins, okay? So I'm going to try and put as little of my toes onto the block, and I'm going to focus on sitting back. That's quite intense. Sitting back down onto my feet, okay? So I'm trying to put as much weight down onto my feet as possible, okay? Lovely. So Jackie, if you're happy there, stay there for 10 breaths. But if it's not quite straight, if you're not getting a good out stretch on the front of the shin, you can bring your toes slightly more off the block. No, okay, you're happy. Hannah, you doing okay? Yeah, okay, cool. Girls, we're gonna try and hold for 10 breath cycles. Try to get comfy with it. The more you can kind of keep your ankles together, the better, but it's no problem if they spread apart. I can feel that I'm really tight in my shins at the moment. You're trying to get as much of your shin onto the ground as possible. You might see me, I keep coming in and out of it. It's really intense, but I'm trying to get rock back into it. As much as I can each time. Lovely. Once you've done 10 girls, I've got another 3 more on my count. Lovely. Oh my God. That is awful. So I'm gonna just move the block out of my way, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna find a bit of a wall. All right, and I'm gonna come into a couch stretch. So again, obviously name is in it. You can do it off the couch. You have done this before plenty of times. So the closer the knee to the wall, the harder the stretch is going to be. If you're so sore after Murph yesterday, maybe just take your time and don't go so close to the wall. You're going to come up with that other leg into a 90-degree. And we're going to take our time as we come into this. And we're going to hold for 60 seconds in this stretch. So I want you to feel like it's a good stretch, but not too crazy that you can't hold it. Okay. Now I'm starting to get a little bit looser into it, so I'm going to start to bring myself and my shoulders closer to the wall. I'm trying not to arch through my back though, so let's all just double check in with our lower back and make sure that it is flat. And I'm focusing through that stretch in my thigh and up into my hip. And I'm breathing and I'm relaxing. And I've got another 15 seconds. So I'm going to push a little bit more into it with my front leg. Give myself a good old stretch there. We're going to swap over in 3, 2, 1. So we're gently going to come forward out of it, swing that back leg out. Bring my opposite knee in. Bring that other leg out in front of me. And we're in. Out. And I'm taking my time because try to rush it there and I started arching my back. So I'm gonna focus on lengthening through the thigh and the quad. And I'm pushing with that opposite leg back. And I'm breathing into it. And we've got 20 seconds. Last 10. 3, 2, 1. And you gently come out of that. Lovely, girls. And you can pop yourself up onto your feet if you want to just kind of like loosen out those ankles. And that is us done for our stretch.
Thanks so much, Lauren.
You are very welcome, Hannah.